your brain, you're in the nuts domain. Come on in, it's about to begin.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Nerds Domain podcast. I am Matt, and I'm here with Shirley.
Hi. Hello.
And Jesse.
Hello.
They're both here. We don't know which one's which. This is our 2015 year-end review. So, on to books. Jesse, we'll start with you on books.
Me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I haven't been reading a lot of entertaining things, but I have done some schoolwork. And the best book that I've had for school would be the Lakota Ritual of the Sweat Lodge by, I had this up, I forgot his name, Raymond A. Bucko.
Bucko. What class is this?
Anthropology.
Oh, that's cool.
The study of religion, I think. It was. What was the actual name of the class? I should know that.
The Lakota what?
Anthropology of religion.
The Lakota
Ritual of the Sweat Lodge. And
right on.
When I first got the book, I thought it was talking about all this stuff, like how people are doing it nowadays and things. But what it's about is how we're changing them.
Yep.
To the point of, that is, the stuff they're doing now is nothing like what they used to do. Or Western Indians are starting to do Plains Indians dances because that's what we like to see. So it's all about how basically we're taking something from them and changing it completely.
That's interesting.
But it also, I mean, what you just said, it sounds like the society itself is changing to fit what society, the Native American society is changing itself to fit what the North American or Western society wants to see.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he wasn't just blaming us. He was stating it's just a problem that's happening.
Right. Anywho.
And it was a good book. I enjoyed it. I would never have read it outside of the coursework, but...
Well, that's interesting. No, that's kind of cool. Any other books that you've read that you've enjoyed?
That's the only one that's really popping up to my mind that I really liked. We had a lot of books in the class, but that was the best one of them. Okay.
Shirley, what about you?
So my book for the year was The King in Yellow.
Did you complete that? I know you...
Yes.
Okay, so you did...
I finally got to the end of it, and I want to go back and read it again.
Okay.
Because at the beginning of the book references itself a lot in regards to the characters in the stories, because they're all short stories, going insane. And I need to reread it because I just need to reread it. I think I need to reread it one or two more times to catch everything, because the way that it ends is like maybe there's a cult recruiting thing going on there.
Well, and so this was written by Robert Chambers.
Yes.
And this is a precursor to the Cthulhu mythos. There's a lot of...
Lovecraft, you read him.
Yeah, there's a lot of mythos inspiration that comes from this.
Yes.
And it starts with repairs of reputations.
Yes.
And that, you said, was kind of inspiration for the first season of...
I felt like it was an inspiration for the first season of
Oh, yeah.
True Detective?
True Detective.
Oh,
Good.
it
Nice.
was. They talk about the King in Yellow a lot.
Yes. But the only thing that, the only symbology that I found, it's not in the story or the characters itself. Symbology. No, I'm using symbology.
Symbology is a fancier sounding word.
Right. No, the only symbolism that I found between the two, the story and the True Detective, what is it called?
Show,
is that the main character is trying to repair his reputation in some sort of way. That's it.
Okay.
That's the only parallels.
So there are 10 short stories in this?
Yes.
And it's like 300 pages of what it says here.
Yeah, it's not very long, but every short story is interesting in that it ties to the previous in some small way.
And I think that this actually was also an inspiration for, if you listen to the Masks of Nyarlathotep side quests, this is an inspiration for George's first side quest.
Yes.
Which was difficult. We'll just say difficult. But very interesting and good. We enjoyed it quite a bit. Jesse, did you have you read The King in Yellow?
I haven't. It's on my to-do list. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I know that I think it was free on Amazon.
Yes,
wasn't it?
it's free on Amazon.
Kindle.
And the thing is, like, if you're a reader or a speed reader, you'll get through it really quickly. It'll probably take you a couple days.
Okay.
It took me half a year.
Okay, well, and that's definitely something I haven't read, and I'd like to. I know it has significance and something that completely worth looking into. I have not been reading much that I haven't already read before. It wouldn't be a year in review if we didn't talk about Wheel of Time, at least briefly. So I restarted the Wheel of Time again.
The book that never ends.
I'm just about to finish book 5. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm seeing more than I saw the first time, which is good. But I'm also seeing places that it could improve and go faster, and it just isn't. So that's kind of disappointing, but, it is what it is. But that's the only thing I've really been reading. I went and looked. I didn't have anything else. So, Shirley, you're still trying to read this Wheel of Time?
No.
Oh, you've given up?
Well, I mean, I haven't given up in that I've given up. I've stopped reading it. Like, I restarted. It's not giving up. I'm moving on to different books right now.
Fair enough.
I intend to go back and read it.
Sure, that's what we all said.
I restarted book 1, and I got to, when they wheeled the cart into the little town. and that's where I got.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's switch over to podcasts. Where are you at with podcasts, Shirley? What did you listen to new this year?
Nothing new. I mean, I downloaded some new stuff, some spiritual pathwork stuff, but I haven't been able to start listening to it yet. But I'm still listening off and on to Major Spoilers, old D&D stuff. So
Critical Hit.
Critical Hit. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we're listening to our Masks of Nyarlathotep. Mm-hmm. And still listening to the Neo-Anarchist with his Shadowrun.
Yeah, I reviewed that for the site recently. I don't know if our listeners have heard us talk about that before. Can you describe it a little bit?
It's just basically, it is a podcast. The podcasts range from 3 to, I think, as long as maybe 15 minutes.
And some of them are longer, about half an hour, 45, when you get later into the series.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far. But he just basically, it is he is acting as a character, and the character is recruiting people for the game, but he's giving like a lot of history and backstory, and he treats it as if it's a I don't know what it's called, like those shows that are not supposed to be on the air because they're trying to.
Oh yeah, it's like a pirate radio.
Pirate, yeah, it's like a pirated aired radio station, and even in one of the episodes he gets raided or something by the enemy.
Jesse, do you like Shadowrun?
Yes.
Have I told you should be listening to this yet?
I believe so. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, in the newer stuff that I've been listening to lately, because I am almost caught up. I'm caught up and I'm waiting for more than one episode to be out at a time. He actually starts giving away jobs as a Johnson. And so it's a great way for Shadowrun GMs to build a story and build more of a world that feels a little more authentic and gives them ideas for games as well. I really like what he's doing there. And he stays in character the whole time. Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's a storyline going on within the podcast as well. it's really interesting. I like it quite a bit.
And for me, if you really, really like Shadowrun, I definitely suggest it because, or if you're just a GM in general and want some ideas, for me, it's helpful because I'm not a quick reader, but I love the backstory and all the history behind Shadowrun. So he goes over a lot of that, or he goes over all of it. So being able to sit there and listen to it and hear somebody talk about it helps me to remember it for the game.
Well, and he gives a bias to it that makes it authentic.
Right.
It's as though he's a neo-anarchist telling you about the world and what to be afraid of and what to worry about. And it kind of, that bias and that spin on it make it feel a little more real, which I like. I like quite a bit. So
what about you?
I have been listening to a couple, I might be stealing one of Jesse's, but probably not. Rachel and Miles Explain the X-Men. It's all about the X-Men and their history. They started with the 1960s set, and they've been coming through kind of doing 5 to 10 issues each episode. They're currently like in 88, 89, right before the launch of Excalibur. So they're going through and telling you what's going on with the X-Men each step of the way. It's really entertaining. They do a pretty good job of staying on topic. They're really, really fun and funny. I think, Jesse, you've listened to this, right?
I do, yes. As a person who has very little interest in superhero comics, I still listen to it regularly.
Right, yeah. And I find that, I wish they could go faster, but there's just not much you can do. Because we're going to get to the point. So right now they're talking about 3 books. X-Men, which I think is Uncanny X-Men at this point. X-Factor and New Mutants. They're about to pick up a 4th book. And shortly after that, the number of books can explodes up to the upwards of 12 for a while. And that makes it very difficult to follow and really stay on top of. So I'm interested to see how they're going to handle that, but we'll see as we get there on that one. And the other new one I'm listening to is New Media Lab. That's run by Rob Southgate. He's the head of our network. And it's really just people that are interested in blogs and podcasting and other new media like that. And they come on and give some tips and tricks and talk about the kind of stuff that you can do to help what you've got going on, kind of help you expand. It's really informative, but it's still light and easy to take in. There's a lot of information that comes in out of it, so I don't delete these off my phone so I can go back and listen to them again and take notes, which is I don't do yet, so I just need to get into that. Jesse, what are you listening to?
Well, a games came out that is a part of my favorite franchise. Not a lot of people's heard about it, but it's called
My Little Pony?
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
There's a podcast called Fallout Off the Record, and I absolutely love it. It starts, if you go all the way back to when they first started, it's before the game actually launched, so you can hear about what they're thinking the game's going to be about, and then later on they actually address how wrong they were about certain things.
So it's called Fallout Off the Record?
Fallout Off the Record. They stay generally spoiler-free. They have a couple of ones that are very specifically spoiler casts, where they talk about where they're at in the game. Only one of them's beaten it. It's a pair people.
Okay.
They have different sections. The older ones, they had things of, like, what would actually help you in a situation if things like that was to actually happen, like how to prepare for things, stuff like that. They get out of that once the game actually comes out.
Okay.
They pick like death claws, and they go into the history of the death claws, what they came from, things like that. They pick one weapon, and they talk about the weapon, its history, where it came from. It's a generally interesting podcast to listen to if you like Fallout.
Yeah, I started listening to Vault IGN, the Fallout podcast, which is... Their audio is just kind of not great, which I can't say too much about because we've had some bad audio, but it is put out by IGN, so I just expected a different level of audio editing that I'm not getting.
How are they with spoilers?
They spoil the crap out of it.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of. I'm still trying to avoid some spoilers. I think some things are impossible to miss, but...
Your son's actually your dad, Jesse.
It wouldn't surprise me.
What? Really?
No, Shirley, that was a joke.
Oh, gosh.
It was like Alienist.
You know what? Shut up, damn alienists.
Okay, that's cool. Was there another podcast you're listening to?
I'm also there's a new game coming out for 3DS that is in the Fire Emblem world, and Fire Emblem is a game that's a strategy role-playing game. I didn't know how big it was. I've just played the first, not the first one, obviously, the one that came out on the 3DS, Awakening, and I absolutely loved it. I've since went through and played all the others, and the podcast, they go into depth on the characters, the history of the game, stuff like that. If you like Fire Emblem, you should listen to Emblemcast.
Well, and Fire Emblem is much bigger in Japan.
It is. There's, out of like the 16 games, only 5 of them have been officially translated.
Oh, wow.
But there's a lot of ways to get translated versions that have come out now.
Or you can just learn to speak Japanese.
It'd help you, actually, if you learn to read Japanese.
Oh, that's true. This is a good point. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, well, I'll start with games. My son for Christmas.
You're going to steal mine, aren't you?
I'm going to skip that one so that Shirley can have that one. We picked up a bunch of games at Gen Con. Trying to think if there's anything specific that we picked up this year that we really enjoyed. Epic Resort was fun. We didn't pick that up, but it was a fun game that we played there. Basically, you're building a resort in a medieval fantasy world, and so you're trying to attract customers and also attract adventurers to protect your town from monsters or your resort from monsters that are going to attack.
Let's see, X-Wing?
Yeah, that wasn't new for me this year. I played a lot of X-Wing, but that's not new.
We like Cthulhu Realms if you'd stop beating me.
Cthulhu Realms is a good one. It is very much like Star Realms, but it's with a Cthulhu theme. And I think they did a really good job with it. Jesse, you picked that one up.
I did. I like it better than the original.
Really?
It might be the theme. Space. I like Cthulhu better than I like sci-fi.
I like sci-fi better.
Yeah. What else did we pick up at Gen Con that we haven't played much?
No.
Because somebody hates board games.
Sewer Pirates.
Not new this year.
Nope, not new.
The other thing that I've been playing a lot of is Dungeons & Dragons. 5th edition has been really, really good. The modules they've been putting out, I ran part of... crud. What is the name of that one? I can't even think of any of it. I ran a bit of the one right before this one. So I ran a bit of the Underdark Elemental Evil I ran a bit of the Elemental Evil one that came out that was set in Faerun, and that was interesting. I ran that for D&D Encounters. I can't say it was bad because it wasn't, but there are things that could be tweaked on it to make it better. I think with a solid gaming table, it would be better as well, so you could interlace your characters in there. And the one that I picked up, or that I've been running parts of recently for the home group, is the one that just came out back in September. And honestly, I can't think of the name of that book either. So the first one was Princes of... Well, I just looked at it. Princes of the Apocalypse was the Elemental Evil one, and that one's pretty good. And then the one that came out after that, the name is really escaping me, but it's the Demon Princes. So you're dealing with those. They're both really good. Some other books that have come out from D&D have been from Wizards of the Coast have been really good. It's a solid system. I'm getting a lot more role play out of my players than I think I would in other systems because it's supported in the system. Not that you couldn't role play in 4th edition, because you could, and I will argue that until the day I die. But 5th edition does promote role playing a little bit better, gets you a feel for your character a little more. It's not just about killing stuff, and the combat is streamlined quite a bit, way more than 4th edition was.
I knew I didn't like this for some reason. No, I'm kidding.
No, I do miss a little bit of the intricacies of combat for 4th, but it does make the game easier to run and to have new players in. And honestly, I talked about it last year. The DMG is still surprising me by how good it is, and I've been very, very happy and impressed with it. So I'm looking forward to continually playing D&D. Jesse, what about you? Did you have any any games this year that you played for the first time or stuck out?
Yeah. Mine are all like computer games and whatnot, but those are still games, right?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I did play out Fallout 4. Go ahead, Jesse.
Well, I played Assassin's Creed 2 a while back and couldn't get into it. Didn't see what all the hype was for Assassin's Creed. During the last Steam summer sale, I bought Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I absolutely loved it. One of the best games I've ever played. It's right behind the Fallout series. It's gotten me back into Assassin's Creed. I'm actually going to try 3 now. I'm a little bit into it. Fallout 4 happened, so that's about all that's happening.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know if it's the mix of pirates. I do know what it is. You start off, you're not in the real world. You're in the memory for, like, a long time before you get thrust into the real world. And I was just bored of the real world in 2.
Oh, yeah. You do spend way too much time in the real world in 2. I didn't get to finish that, but, yeah, there is a lot of time you spend there.
And I'm glad I started with this one, because I went back and I'm doing 3 now. And, you start off a lot in the real world there, too. So hopefully they've learned their lesson with 4 and going forward. But
yeah. We'll see.
If I wanted to play the real world, I'd play Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really the real world either.
It's the real world to me.
Yeah. Any other games?
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
I didn't get Fallout 4 till Christmas because my parents like to torment me, and since I said I was interested in it, they said I couldn't buy it. That being said, before the year was out, I already had 30 hours into it.
Nice. I need to look and see how I can figure out how many hours I have into it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that on the PS4.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're playing on like the PS4, right? There's some things, I don't know if you have the same glitches that the PC does, but I keep losing my companion. So
I've had that problem a couple of times. What I found is if it's dog meat, build a doghouse.
He's not the one I have trouble with. It's like while I'm walking around.
Oh, yeah, you just move on. It's because they get stuck on crap.
Yeah, I had one of the followers, like there's a locked room I couldn't get into, but it's a cage.
Mm-hmm.
And she got into it and couldn't get out of it. And I couldn't open the door to let her out of it.
Yeah, you just move far enough away, it'll auto.
See, I didn't know that. I would just use console commands. So like I said, I didn't know how you guys would do it without console commands, but...
Yeah, you just move far enough away that they port over to you, especially if you fast travel.
Okay, good to know, because, yeah, that's happened a lot.
Yeah, are you enjoying the storyline in Fallout 4?
I am. It feels a little bit more urgent than past games, which is fine. But it feels like you want to do the main story, but it's an exploration
and the good
game.
news is, if you do the main story on this one, even after you finish it, you can keep playing.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. I have a hard time doing that. When I finish a game, I move on and start over.
Fair enough.
Even on open worlds.
Fair enough.
But it might handle it better.
Have you found the alien spaceship yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I know it exists, but I haven't found it yet.
Right on. Yeah. Shirley, games? Any games that you can think of?
So... like you said, we didn't play very many games this year.
Because you hate board games.
But for Christmas, you got... What?
Because you hate board games.
The thing is, it's not so... It doesn't, draw me in. But...
board games are like boring games.
I found to my delight that the game that you got Aiden for Christmas, Zombicide, I really, 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 really liked. And what I didn't know is that...
there's a ton of expansions for it.
There are a ton of expansions.
Hundreds of dollars on this thing.
At them. Its publisher it's published by Asmodee Games.
No, it's not. It's published by Cool Mini or Not.
It says Cool Mini or Not is listed here.
Oh, that game.
Yeah, that $100 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a collaborative game where you and the other players of the game try to, you pick a, what's it called? A thing at the beginning.
A character?
No.
Scenario.
Scenario, good night. You pick a scenario, and you and the other characters of the game have to go through and accomplish certain things and make it off of the end of the board without getting killed by zombies. to win the game.
Yep. Yeah, Jesse, it is. That price tag was a little rough. My son was like, "Yeah, Dad, I want Zombicide," and I was like, "Yeah, there's no way, dude. It is too expensive. I'm just not spending that kind of money on a game that I'm not sure we're gonna play." And then I was like, he really wants it bad, so I could get it for Christmas, and then I'm off the hook, because if we don't play it, then I'll be like, well, it was a Christmas gift. But we played it the first day.
Right.
And it's streamlined. The combat is easy enough to understand. It moves quickly.
Right.
It can still take time, but it's built by the scenario. And after you get through the 10 or 11 scenarios that are in the book, there are fan-created scenarios online that are free.
Nice.
Right.
So all you need to do is make sure you have the base game and the expansions that the scenario requires, and you can run the scenario.
Yep.
And we bought the base game and a pack of more zombies, which surprisingly you do need. It's terrifying. Yes. If you don't have the zombies,
they pile up on you really, really
quickly.
If
you don't have the zombies, they get an extra activation.
Oh, really?
So, which could kill your character. I mean, it literally could kill your character. Yes. So the 25 or the 15 or $25 that I paid for the extra zombies probably saved us.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And I think what I like about the game is that you actually get to keep your character keeps its stat from scenario to scenario.
That's actually not in the game rules. That's something we decided to do, and it's kind of screwing us as we go along.
Oh, I thought you read it in the game stat.
No, I said it's something we could do. It looks like that was suggested online as an option.
So we've decided, house rule, to keep our stats as we go, but as you go up in your stats, it releases more zombies at different points during the game, or at different points during your stats. And I think I would just rather start over every single time, because I'm almost at the end. I'm in the red zone.
Yeah, it's been a little rough, because we started off in the yellow, and then we got to red very quick, because you and I were both going up in level quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a really good game, Jesse. I think you should check it out.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
the problem is that
a lot of fun.
It's so season 1, 2, and 3, and I think 4 are out. Each one of those seasons is a base game by itself, and is $89 to $99. And then there are several expansions that give you more zombies, that give you zombie heroes, that give you new scenario tiles, that give you new scenario. It's just so much. And by the time you buy all 4 base sets, you're going to have enough tiles that you could do just about anything. But they're going to be the first base set is just season 1. I don't even think there's a subtitle to it.
No.
But it's just streets. Season 2 is inside of a jail.
Oh, cool.
Season 3, I think, is a mall. And I don't remember what season 4 is. But yeah, so each one's going to change the look of it, but you can still put the scenarios together so that you use the street from season 1 with the mall from season 3, and you kind of build it together that way. Yeah. So, anyway, either way, I enjoy the game. It moves quickly, and it's entertaining and enjoyable and a little different every time. It's not the same, even though we're going to play. Even if we play the same scenario every time, we're not going to get the same gear from searching and that kind of stuff. So it'll play a little different.
Nice.
So. Yeah, definitely an expensive game to pick up.
Yeah.
Jesse, let's start again with you on apps.
Apps? Well, I have a couple. I have 2 that's actually not games, and a few that are.
Okay.
Feedly is the newest thing that I found, and I absolutely love it. What it does, it's an app that grabs feeds from websites. You can tell it which ones you're looking for. I used to use Facebook for my news. I just use this now. I found myself not going to websites as often as I used to, unless it's something I really want to read. And I just feel like it's condensed everything and made everything a lot nicer.
Okay.
But yeah, if the website you like has a feed, it's a great thing to do. The other one, I know it's on Android. I'm not sure if it's on iOS or not. But there's an app called H.P. Lovecraft. And this app is nothing but his books. It's got his books, his short stories, all of it organized, done up in a nice, easy way to read it.
Interesting.
Technically, I started Fallout Shelter, I think, the year before last, but I didn't like it because I was expecting it to be tiny towers, and it's not.
There's some aspects of it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
This year, I like it for what it is. I absolutely love it. I've wasted so much time on it. And then there's another app that I found that is easily the best app of the year, and that's called Agar.io. And what this game is you're a single-cell amoeba. You're going around picking up little dots. As you eat a dot, you get bigger. The problem is, it's a multiplayer game, and there's at least 30 to 40 other people going around collecting dots and getting bigger also. The trick is, a bigger amiibo can eat your amiibo. So you're constantly trying to run around, run away from them, get bigger. You can split to try to get people. When you split, you get smaller, so you have to be careful about that. But it's a great little strategy game, and I've wasted a lot of time on that one, too.
Yeah, I've not heard of that. I'm looking at it now. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's absolutely free, which is nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Spore?
No.
Okay, it's the fun part of Spore.
Okay. So with Fallout Shelter, did you get back to playing it, or did you just kind of give up on it?
Oh, no, I'm back to playing it now. I really like it. I even threw money at it, which is something I seldomly do for apps. Yeah,
I think I threw a couple bucks at it, and then I got frustrated because it kept crashing on my iPad, and I haven't opened it back up since.
Yeah, I've got Piper and Three Dog in my little shelter now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had Alistair Tenpenny for a while.
Cool.
And I put him on the radio because he had the highest charisma.
I wasn't even going to have a radio until I got Three Dog, and it's like, well, I don't know where else to put him. So.
Well, and that gives you more people coming in, which means you can expand and so on and so forth.
I don't know if it was when you were there or not, but once you have above, I think, 50 people, they start sending in death claws.
Oh.
Yeah, and the frequency of them attacking is based upon your radio station and how much attention you're drawing to yourself. Every time you open your door, the chance for someone to attack gets greater.
I see. So, yeah, maybe turn off the radio station.
Yeah. I'm currently setting at like 45 people. As soon as I hit 50, I think the radio station's done with.
Yeah, I can see that making some sense. Shirley, how about you? What about apps for you?
The only app I have that I've really consistently used, I really haven't found anything new this year except for Friendly. Friendly is an app that takes a lot of your social media, except for Twitter, and you can be on Instagram, and you can log on to multiple Instagram accounts if you have them. You can log on to multiple Facebook accounts if you have them, which it's okay. I find that being able to use it is kind of hard, and the user friendliness of it isn't very well, because it goes back to like the very first Facebook apps for the iPhone, where you couldn't really copy anything, you couldn't share. When you share, you can't choose who you share it with. In regards to posting on somebody's wall, you have to share it to your wall and then hope that you can tag them in it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it just doesn't pull up the tag. So it's okay if you have multiple accounts and you just want to use it to switch between them quickly. But my main one is Spotify. Still using that. It keeps getting updates where now it'll suggest things to me in regards to the types of music that I like, and it will also it goes through when you choose like a performer. It will show you what they have out, their songs, their albums, playlists that they're on from different people that have created playlists with them on there, so you can scroll through other people's playlists, and then it goes and it shows you like artists that are like the person that you're listening to, and so you can go and visit different artists. So there's suggested artists that you can go like. So if you really, really like music, I'm going to say Spotify.
Spotify is a great app.
There's also podcasts on Spotify and audio.
And books.
There's podcasts on Spotify? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a select number of podcasts from Libsyn that are on there. Good Job Brain is one of them that I'm aware of, and there are a few others.
But sometimes it's hard to find them, because I was looking for Bram Stoker's Dracula, and And you get a lot of different stuff, and unless you know exactly what to look for, you don't really get... It's hard to find the audiobooks.
We did find Christopher Lee reading Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was awesome. All right. For my apps, the two I want to highlight, because, I've got to be productive and have fun, is Manager Tools is an app that released this year, or in 2015, that I really got. I've downloaded. I haven't gotten too much into it, but Manager Tools has been running since 2006 as a podcast, so it's really hard to grab the things you're looking for. The app really, all it does is say, what kind of thing are you looking to do? Do you want to look at coaching? Okay, well, here's all the coaching things. And you can even break it down farther than that. So it makes it much easier to deal with the huge volume that Manager Tools has put out. And then it also has some other options on there besides just the podcast, just general tools for you to improve your management skill. I really, really, really appreciate it because it was so hard trying to find the things that I was looking for before now. Instead of listening to every episode since 2006, now I can just look at what do I need to look at and what do I need to improve. So that's really helpful on my end. The other one that I got this year is Signals in the Multiverse, which is a board game, I guess technically a card game, where you play heroes that fight against a supervillain. This is all done automated. It was kind of shown off at Gen Con. That's where I kind of first saw it and got used to the idea of it. I have dropped $30 on this game already because it's $10 for the base game and then $20 for the season pass. But everything that's come out so far as updates, I've gotten as part of the season pass. So, I've got the first 2 regular expansions and the first 2 mini expansions, and then the base game as well. It runs pretty smoothly. There are some hiccups here and there that I thought the rules ran differently than they do clearly in the app. So that's been interesting to learn. But all in all, it's really good. Makes it so I can play Sentinels of the Multiverse by myself or with somebody else pretty quick and easy. And lets me try out different tactics with different team setups and see how good or bad they are. It also let me play characters that I wouldn't normally play since we don't play as often as I would like. I got to play different heroes to see how they run and see if I like them as well. And that's been kind of awesome. So, Jesse, you like Sentinels of the Multiverse, right?
Yeah. The app seems fun. I haven't put a lot of time into it, but I'm glad I've gotten it.
Oh, so you did actually dig money out of your very tight pockets?
It's one of the few apps that I've paid for, yes.
Did you pay for the season pass as well?
I have not yet.
Honestly, misinformation, I could take or leave. That one I wasn't so worried about. But the 2 expansions for Infernal Relics and not Shattered Timelines, Rook City, those 2 are really, really good.
Yeah.
They give you access to some heroes and some villains that really improve the game. So, definitely worth picking up. We'll start with Shirley on TV shows and movies.
TV show, I'm going to have to go with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Really?
and Man in High Castle. Oh, sorry.
This wasn't on your list. I looked at your list. I went, no, she doesn't have it, and I wrote it down.
Because I didn't think any were.
Go ahead, Shirley.
I'm not going to go in deep.
So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets better? Because I've heard it starts off...
How much have you watched?
None.
Okay.
It starts off so slow.
I'm going to tell you this, okay? And I other people told me this, and I scoffed at them.
Spotlight.
I scoffed at them because...
Go ahead.
I scoffed at them because I really didn't... I didn't know how good it would get because the first 2 or 3 episodes are rough. Yeah. They're not bad, but they didn't draw me in.
Slow.
And by mid-season, I was so hooked. Like, we were watching 2 or 3 episodes at a time.
Oh.
Yeah.
We finished season 1, and I made Shirley stop so we could watch Jessica Jones.
Literally, on the last episode of the season, you're like, I'm watching season 2 right now.
But if you look online, you can also find the order in which to watch it with Captain America Winter Soldier, because the things that happen in the show are happening along the same time as that is happening.
Winter Soldier. Because you're like, oh, that's when that happens. Oh, that's when that happens.
Does that make sense, Jesse?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting, and I liked being able to see the correlation between the show and Winter Soldier. So
yeah.
it was,
If you like Gotham,
nice.
Jesse, I think you really would like this.
I'll give it a shot. It's on my
definitely.
list.
Anything else you've been watching that you want to seal off my list, Shirley?
No, Man in High Castle has gotten interesting.
Yeah, we're only, 3 or 4 episodes into that?
It's dark, but it's not as dark as House of Cards or...
yeah, well...
What are the other one
Orange
that I
is the New
can't
Black.
watch too much? So it's really interesting. It doesn't have very much history, so to speak.
It's set in the 60s.
To the cultures, but
and it's a alternate history, which I always like. I love the alternate history stuff,
which is interesting. I like that it's that.
It looks like an interesting show.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's deep and something you would enjoy, Jesse. And the guy that plays the main Nazi is
Chris.
Really good.
Or
Herr Gruppenhausen or good lord, now I'm gonna have to go look it up.
Yeah, the thing is, he was on Knight's Tale, Tristan and Isolde. What else has he been on?
Yeah, it's not it. There it is. We're gonna look it up. And here it goes. We're gonna look soon.
Oh my gosh.
It's my goodness.
I keep forgetting.
It's Obergruppenführer. John Smith.
It is not John Smith.
I swear, it's what it is. He's played by Rufus Sewell.
Rufus Sewell. Gosh.
Who's been in all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
But he's really good. And he's really good as like the head Nazi guy that's just evil. Yeah. Evil.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Shirley and I think we both enjoyed it.
And then, so my movie of the year is, of course, Fast and Furious 7.
No, there's no Fast and Furious 7.
Right, fine. Furious 7.
Yeah, that was a thing that you could watch.
Whatever. So.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did very much. They brought Letty back, and they had Ronda Rousey in there, which was very, very interesting. The whole plot and storyline with that was very interesting. I liked that they took it out of country. They went to Dubai and another place. I can't remember where, but they've taken the franchise to a whole different level, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with 8.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. It was enjoyable when we saw it, even though I don't follow a lot of what the crap is going on. But,
the
what are you going
backstory.
to do?
You don't know the family.
I saw a movie called Star Wars that I enjoyed. It was good. Jesse, did you see Star Wars?
Star Wars? Yeah, I watched that a long time ago. You mean the new one?
Yeah, The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen The Force Awakens, you should check it out. I enjoyed it. I think we talked about it briefly on another podcast that we did a review on with Aiden. But there was that, and then what else did I watch this year for the first time? I'm like 3 or 4 episodes.
We didn't watch very many movies this year.
Yeah, not in the theaters. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes away from the end of Breaking Bad, and it's getting a little rough, and I don't want to finish that yet. So that's almost done.
I thought you'd already finished that.
No, it's just kind of sitting there. I have been watching The Wonder Years because I remember that from my childhood, and I couldn't ever figure out why it was good then, and now I can see why it's potentially enjoyable to the right crowd. So that's interesting. It's a coming-of-age story. We did watch a few movies. We saw Ant-Man, Age of Ultron, a couple others. I really look forward to the end of the Hunger Games trilogy.
Yeah.
I think it was handled all right. It was not nearly as intense as the books, but it still had that intensity that it should have had, and I really enjoyed. Her name is not Katniss. Jennifer.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, but the actress Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence in that, and Natalie Dormer as the director for the propaganda films. So that was enjoyable. My year has been mostly not new stuff, just stuff that I've been catching up on. I did watch Gotham this year. I watched all of the first season. It was good.
That is a thing that you could do.
I didn't need any more Fish Mooney. She could have dropped out of the season way earlier, and it could have been a much better season.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Or let her drop out and then come back without any real backstory or a quick backstory, and it still would have been good. It didn't need to be that long and needless. So,
No,
Gotham was fun.
The thing I didn't like was Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, that was weird and interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. So, Jesse, what did you watch?
I watched what has to be the best movie of last year. Now, there were a lot of good movies, like Jurassic World and that Star Wars thing and stuff like that. But I'm talking about Martian.
Oh, okay.
And I was really surprised. I went in thinking it was going to be a good movie, and it absolutely blew me away. It is officially in my top 5 list of movies ever.
Oh, right on.
Have you guys seen it yet?
No, have you?
Not yet.
Did you read the book?
No, I didn't know it was based on a book.
Yeah, it's based on a book.
Well, now I need to read the book and be disappointed about the movie.
I want to kind of watch Martian and Interstellar. And
You haven't seen Interstellar yet?
No, not yet.
So you guys just don't like good movies then?
No,
our
Matt
movie
just
going
keeps me away from good movies.
Our movie going this year has been very down. I mean, literally, like Ant-Man we saw in August, and then we didn't see anything again until November for Mockingjay Part 2, Star Wars, and that was it.
Yeah.
From August until the end of the year, we saw 3 movies. Before that, we did see Jurassic World and Age of Ultron, and
That was it.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see very much this year at all.
Well, there wasn't a lot I wanted to see during the summer.
Well,
really.
thank you for asking me what I wanted to see.
Whatever.
But anyway, though, Martian. Martian's a great movie. I liked Interstellar, but this feels like a more realistic look at space travel and what could happen. I mean, this was it was great. It's hard to talk about.
Well, I'm excited to hopefully see it soon.
Everybody needs to watch it.
I've heard it's really good.
If you like science movies, you need to watch it. It has humor. Interstellar lacked a lot of humor.
Right.
This has the humor. It still has a lot of seriousness, though. It's still...
Wasn't there 3, like, Matt Damon movies that came out last year?
That's only 2 I know of.
2.
What 2?
Interstellar came out last year, didn't it?
No.
Oh.
Was Matt Damon in Interstellar?
Yes.
I know Matthew McConaughey was.
He's doing just about the same thing as he does in Martian.
That's hilarious.
No, Interstellar came out at the end of 2014.
Oh.
The Martian is the only thing he was in 2015.
Oh. I thought he came.
No, he was in Monuments Men also in 2014.
Oh, okay.
The other thing I've watched is a TV series that's on Netflix called The Detectorists.
Detectorists?
Okay.
It's a British show on a metal detecting group that's looking for a lost Viking ship. A guy who's been buried in a ship. But they're average people. It really displays real people and real challenges well, while still having that weird... But they have a rivalry with another metal detecting group.
Oh, same group?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The lead guy is the guy who plays... I can't remember what his name is in the English Office. It's his version of Dwight.
Okay.
He was also in...
Oh, so this is a show, not a reality TV show?
No, it's a TV show. It's an entertainment show, not a reality thing. But it's got... He was also in... What was it called? The Johnny Depp pirate show.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
He was the pirate.
Jeffrey Rush?
He was the pirate who kept losing his eye.
Okay. Yeah.
Crook.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just absolutely blown away by it. From what I've read in reviews, it's one of those sort of shows that you will either absolutely love or absolutely hate. There's very little middle ground for this. But yeah, I loved it.
Okay. It sounds interesting. My dad, like when I was 11, I think he got his first metal detector. And, like, we would just go to all these places that were old military places, and he would find, like, all these old coins and rings, and I thought it was pretty amazing. It was like going on an adventure every single time.
Right on. I think that wraps up our review for 2015. Real quick, if you guys can think of anything that you're looking forward to in 2016, we could touch on that. For instance, I'm going to be starting listening to a couple of new podcasts. One's called Journey into Mystery, and it is a look at comics. It's a man and his girlfriend, and the man is just literally explaining comics to his girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
And how convoluted they can get. It sounds like fun, and I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm also looking forward to starting Decipher Sci-Fi, which is a sci-fi dedicated podcast that looks at a little bit of everything and does a little bit of deciphering and talking about the tropes and that kind of stuff. What are you looking forward to, Jesse?
Fallout 4. The DLC for Fallout 4. I'm eventually going to get Assassin's Creed Syndicate, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Okay.
Detectorist Season 2. I'm looking forward to that.
Are you looking forward to Daredevil Season 2?
Yes, I am. I'm also looking forward to, what's his name? The superhero one they're getting that has the guy who punches things and has
Iron Fist?
Yes. Looking forward to Iron Fist. I know so much about comics, guys, seriously.
Okay. Shirley, anything you're looking forward to?
I've been so busy at work, I really haven't been able to research anything. I'm looking forward to Cancun.
Yeah.
In May.
And downloading books to read while we're in Cancun.
Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fair. I'm really looking forward to 8 movies that are coming out this summer, all back to back. It should be a good summer for movies. But X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And go ahead, say it.
Gosh,
I know Jesse will have a thought about this.
All of those. We just saw all of those previews, like Warcraft. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Jesse, you looking forward to that?
Not as much as I'd hope I would be.
Oh, and the Fifth Stage, or what is it called?
Oh yeah, the Fifth Wave.
The Fifth Wave. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Okay,
So
that's a movie you could be looking forward to.
I forgot about Suicide Squad. I'm kind of looking forward to being disappointed in that movie.
Yeah, Shirley and I have great Valentine's Day plans.
What are they?
To go see Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Deadpool.
The thing is, if it was anybody other than Ryan Reynolds, I probably wouldn't go. But I loved him in Blade. And he's just he's hilarious.
That's the best person for that cast.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
fair. Then we got Zoolander 2.
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay, you and Jesse can go see that.
Well, thanks.
I haven't even seen the first. I've never seen the first one. No.
She doesn't care for dumb comedy.
It's not dumb comedy.
I don't like Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller's got very little to do with it.
Ben Stiller's the main character, Jesse.
Who are you trying to talk into watching this?
Oh, that's true. It's fair. I am in no way, shape, or form looking forward to Batman versus Superman at all.
I'm intrigued because of Wonder Woman.
I'm interested in it because I'm hoping they go super dark like Injustice, which I know they're not going. I'm looking forward to being disappointed in that film too.
And if IMDb is right, they moved it to March, which means that the studio has absolutely no faith in it. One of your favorite video games is going to get turned into a movie in 2016, Jesse.
Fallout?
Ratchet and Clank.
I've never played Ratchet and Clank.
Actually, it's not a terrible movie. Captain America Civil War is coming out.
That's another I'm looking forward to being disappointed in.
Angry Birds.
I don't even... What?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Have you seen the trailers for it?
I haven't, but I actually enjoyed his first one.
They don't have
go check it out because it's got Rocksteady and Bebop in it.
Oh, seriously? Yeah, they got me.
No joke. Go watch it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I enjoyed the first one. I mean, I know there's a lot of criticism about it, but
Independent Resurgent is coming out.
Oh, that looked very interesting.
There's no Will Smith.
I know, but the thing is, they've got a good basis for a storyline.
Yeah, and then Ghostbusters.
I don't know. If that's
Go ahead.
If it's not rebooted, it'll be great. If it's just a continuation and the old group's retired, it might be a good one. I hope they don't reboot it and just nix everything they had.
What about Star Trek Beyond?
Oh, that one looks really good.
They're worth watching, but I've kind of checked out.
Oh, Jesse.
But it's from the directors of Fast and Furious.
I've never watched the Fast and Furious
that's
movie.
why it's going to be
You might
amazing.
consider it. It's an interesting
Point of
interesting
view.
world building.
It's on my list of things to watch. It's got a lot of actors in it I really like, so I need to get to it.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange comes out in November.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then the new Harry Potter world movie.
Meh.
Oh.
Really, Jesse?
Meh.
Really? I mean, it's the grasp for more money.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, it looks good.
It does
And
actually look
I
good.
like the lead actor.
Plus, we get a new Star Wars movie next year.
Yeah.
We get Rogue One.
Whoa, what?
That's a completely different kind of movie.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed.
They're making a movie out of that?
Yep.
I hope they don't tie up storyline issues in that.
Starring Michael Fassbender.
Who?
He played in the X-Men First Class.
Okay.
He was Magneto.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Because he's older now.
What?
What?
No. Alan Tudyk is in Rogue One.
No way.
What?
Yeah, he's going to be
What is he
Wedge
doing?
Antilles, isn't he? I have no idea.
It doesn't say.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I don't.
That's going to be amazing.
I don't know how close. It's another one I'm looking forward to being disappointed in because I know it's not going to follow the books because they don't care about the books anymore.
Matt just had a second Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's
Alan
but-
Tudyk.
yeah.
In space.
Man.
So Alan Tudyk is amazing. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, yeah.
I love
That's a great movie.
that movie. Like, I hate stupid comedy stuff, and I love that movie.
Oh,
Love
well,
it.
and Jesse, this takes place between episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, so it might follow the books a little bit. I mean, I'm hoping it's at least based on Wedge.
Yeah.
And if they
That's
have Alan
true.
Tudyk as Wedge, that would be it would work. He could do it.
I could get behind that.
Who's Wedge?
He's the one who...
I don't know.
Should have blown up the Death Star?
Wars, blah, 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 blah. He's the one that should have blown up the Death Star?
You've seen the new one, right?
Yeah.
You know the fighter pilot in that one?
What's
New
his
guy,
face?
Poe?
Poe, yeah.
Wedge could fly circles around him.
I was going to say Poe Laren.
No, not Poland. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking forward to in this next year. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on our year in review or the stuff we're looking forward to, you can always email us over at nerdsdomain@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Both of those are at nerdsdomain or facebook.com/nerdsdomain. And then just check out our website at nerdsdom.com and check out our reviews. And we will talk to you guys real soon.